beautiful humans out there. I'm Blakely K. This is Liquid Space Discussions. We're diving into mind, body, and soul. And our lovely guest tonight is Kristi. Welcome. Hi.
Hi.
How's it going?
Good. How are you?
We're doing great. We're floating out here. You feel it? Gravity's weird, man.
I'm floating.
Awesome. So, welcome to Liquid Space. This is, the ether, as it were. We're going to dive into the mind, body, and soul. Are you prepared?
I think so.
You think so? Okay. All right.
I didn't watch Kevin's episode.
No?
Because I didn't want to bias myself.
Yes, that's good. See, that's great. See, like, I have the prompt of mind, body, and soul, but the thing is, like, I don't really want to tell people what that means because I want them to come up with it. I feel like if you watch too much of the other ones or you know too much, maybe it'll be tainted somehow. Who knows? So we do our other show, and one of our main topics that we come up with is communication, right?
It's very important.
It is very important. I wish more people would fucking get their shit together and communicate. But as we start this show, I think that I would like to ask you how you feel like you communicate best, because I feel like that's a good place to start. Communication.
How do I communicate? I feel like I have a lot of nonverbal communication.
Hey, body language is still language. It's very important.
But also, it's not always easily understandable.
This is true. I feel like that's a lot of nonverbal communication. Some people just struggle with that in general. It's a hard one. It's a hard one sometimes, but I feel like, you just do your best. Do your best.
Yeah.
Do you think you can tell when people don't have a fucking clue, though?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's typically fairly obvious when I think my problem is my words or my tone don't always typically match up with my meaning.
Yeah. That could be an issue.
And I think as people get to know me better, they kind of like pick up more on the body language or the facial expressions instead of what my voice is doing.
Yeah. I could see that. That's how it is sometimes. I don't know. I just ramble occasionally. That's and you know what? Sometimes that doesn't mean shit.
True.
Sometimes you just go on and there's nothing there. But nonverbal communication is still a very valid form of communication. I appreciate that. Thank you for sharing.
No problem.
Would you like to start off with a mind?
I could start off with a mind.
Or we could get crazy and do it different. We could go to body or soul.
I mean, if you want to mix it up, I feel like you're the expert here.
Oh, I'm not an expert. See, this is about you. I'm not an expert of you. The only person that's an expert of you is you.
That's fair. And sometimes that's questionable.
You know what? Being an adult's weird, okay?
I mean, sure, let's start with mind. I feel
All
like
right.
that's maybe easier.
Do you have a topic or a word or something that makes you think?
Something that makes me think. Well, I guess up until recently, all I did was think. And then I did more therapy.
Mm-hmm.
And then I found proper medication. And now I actually find that my mind is clearer. I'm actually doing better thinking.
I love that.
As opposed to more thinking.
Overthinking.
Yes.
Overthinking. Yes. This world, man. I think everybody is struggle busting with overthinking, or at least some point in their life they do that. Some overthinking. Great job going and getting some help. I know more of us should. More of us should do that. That's for sure.
Probably. Probably. I think COVID was helpful in that.
I feel like there's so many things in COVID that like made people just stop and just think about themselves for a hot minute that like they never really did before. Like, get introspective.
Have to spend more time alone with your own mind.
Yeah.
You might realize that you need some help sorting that out a little bit.
See, the thing for me was I'm an only child, so like I had a lot of that already. So it didn't change too much, but it's still messed up sometimes in there. But so what specific thing sparked your interest in going and getting the help you thought you needed for clearing your mind or making it work better for you?
Well, actually, I think a large part of it was what happened during COVID. Just I think
Like something
maybe
specific?
not really specific, like a long period of having less social interaction, less like physical activity. Mind just kept going and going and going, and it would feel like I was in this weird bubble looking out at the rest of the world, and like there I was separated from the world.
Like what the
and
fuck's going on out there?
Yeah, it was weird. Even like in my own apartment, while I'm doing work, while I'm talking to Kevin, just everything felt so far away from me, and it was not a good feeling.
Oh yeah, no, that's no.
So I was like, something's wrong. I shouldn't feel like this. Like, felt like I was in, I don't know, like a dream. Like it just wasn't real. Let me tell you, you could have convinced me that we were in a simulation easily during COVID because nothing felt real to me.
Yeah, I mean, not only that, but like the day-to-day was changed up. The news was changed up. The way everybody else interacted with you was changed up, and it's like, what the hell's going on right now? So
At some point, you start to wonder if other people even really exist because the most you're seeing them is through the computer.
Oh yeah, it's fucking wild, right? And I mean, this could be a simulation.
So yeah, I was like, maybe I should get a therapist and at least talk to someone about this. I don't know what's going on.
How did you find one?
I went to a website that I wouldn't particularly recommend, so I don't want to say it.
Okay.
I'm not using it anymore.
Gotcha.
But it was one of those, get therapy quick websites, which I suppose that's on me, but it started the process. So
I was just going to say, I'm asking you that because I feel like I've heard so many people like, oh, I should see somebody, I should talk to somebody, but I just don't know where to start. And I'm like, I don't fucking know. I don't know what to tell you either, but like you should.
But there are a few websites out there that they have virtual therapists and they'll connect you with someone who.
Did you do yours virtually?
Yeah.
Are you currently doing it still?
I have moved on to someone different.
Okay.
Still virtual, but they are here in Austin. So I could go in person if like regulations change where you actually need to, because I know that for some medications, they did in the past require you to have at least one physical appointment before you could get on those medications. So
right. Wow.
I don't know where I am in that scale, but I'm still doing virtual.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think the thing with that is like you're still getting that interaction with them. That's probably super helpful as well. On top of all of that, whether it's virtual or in person, like just I think was it just talking to somebody about all the stuff and like them being like, you're not crazy. This is something you're actually feeling. And
yeah, I mean that was a big part. And then the other part where they're like, have you considered that you might have ADHD? And I was like, not once ever in my life, no.
Wow, okay. That's that, that's a big thing. That's a big fucking thing.
Yeah. So it took about a year after that before I ended up going forward and finding someone to prescribe me actual medication.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you don't. It's such a big step.
Yeah. I mean, I have a thyroid issue and I have to take medication for that, and that's like, that's hard too. And I'm like, you know what? Why is taking medicine to make you better so hard? Like, it shouldn't. I
That
shouldn't.
it's gonna like change you, or
Right.
like you're gonna get bad side effects.
There is like so many things, and you're like, I think for me, it was like, I don't want to feel like I have to have this thing to make me normal, but I fucking do, and it makes me feel better. And now that I've been taking it regularly for many years, and I probably will have to my whole fucking life, I've come to the realization, you know what? I would rather do this my whole life and feel better than feel like shit and be like normal, because that's not normal.
Get that. I think that was a big part for me too, is like, you know, if I get on a medication and I'm stuck on it for life, like, is that really me? Is that okay? And it's weird because once I did start going through like getting on medication and kind of like doing some back and forth with dosages,
Gotta find what's right for you. Unfortunately,
I feel
yours isn't
more
as
like me.
easy as a blood test to figure out what dosage you need. Like, that's the downside of that thing. Like,
Yeah, a lot of trial and error.
yeah, unfortunately, I know my best friend also has that, and so does Dan. So it's one of those things where you can't measure it necessarily as easily as a blood test. So it's definitely harder, I'm sure, for you guys.
I mean, but once I worked it out, got on a couple different things, adjusted dosages a few times, I actually feel more like me have in a very long time.
What
So
are some of the things that you notice that you're like, this is fucking it. This is great. This is what I'm supposed to be like.
like I feel faster. I feel like I am reacting in real time instead of
In your bubble.
in my bubble. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's like conversation happening, and by the time I have a way to participate in the conversation, the moment's passed.
Oh, yeah.
So either I jump in and it's a bit nonsensical and the conversation moves backwards a bit, or I just sit and wait for the next opportunity and hope that I work a little bit faster.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's like now I can just like I can respond. I can just
Yeah.
throw it out there, just have a conversation pretty naturally without, you know, getting caught up or feeling completely incapable or just like stuttering. I started stuttering a lot
What?
at some point. And it was just because like I don't know, the disconnect between my mind and my mouth where maybe I knew what I wanted to say, but I didn't know how I wanted to say it. So
Right,
it didn't
right.
quite come out all the time.
I'm crazy. I just throw words and then they end up being like half words because I'm just throwing them out there. I was like, that's the opposite thing. I just my mouth is going faster than my brain.
I mean, there's that.
So, sometimes it's both ways. I'm glad that you feel like you actually are able to keep up with shit then that's, I mean, that's gotta feel great, I'm sure.
It's a huge thing. It's so much better. And you know, like the little stuff where like I feel like a lot of people can probably relate to this is you say something that's a little bit weird and then you get stuck on that thing and you keep going back to that thing, or like something that happened 10 years ago will just pop in your mind, you'll get upset about it all over again.
What is up
It's
with
just
that?
it doesn't really happen anymore.
That's good.
Like I can just think about things how they are, not have to get stuck on them or worry about them. It's like, well, I said what I said.
That was
I
10
mean,
years ago. It's fine now. Everybody's over
what
it.
can I do? What am I supposed to do about it now except for just be like, okay, that wasn't fun, but like, why should that have any effect on me now?
Right.
It's like, I'm capable of having that thought process now.
Right. If it's out of your control, it deserves freedom from your mind.
Yes.
That's good. That's good. I like that. Well, is there any other specific things that you feel like are helping with your day-to-day with that?
Oh yeah. Routines have been so important. Just harder to maintain than others, but a lot easier now. Before, if I fall off the routine, kind of like the routine is part of my medication regimen. If I fall off the routine, then sometimes I fall back a little bit, even with the medication.
There you go.
So the routine must stay.
The routine must stay. We are creatures of habit, right?
And it's like,
Making
it's gotta be
the
things
good
that,
habits.
like, if it gets messed up, it's not a big deal. So, like, can't be something like, I always have to wake up at this time. And I always have to, like, do this one specific thing. Because what if I'm not at home? What if I'm on vacation? What if I'm unavailable to do this thing? It's more for me like a waking up routine, getting ready, and like a food and snack routine throughout the morning. And once usually I hit that afternoon point, I don't need a routine anymore.
There you
I've
go.
started the day. I'm in the right mindset. I can coast.
So it's all about the mindset. The mindset.
Yeah.
I need that. My mornings have been shit lately. I don't know.
Mornings are really hard.
They are. I'm so not a morning person. Are you a morning person?
I used to be.
Yeah.
I've always had trouble waking up in the morning though. So it's like, it's kind of a struggle. I've always, well, I used to feel most focused in the morning. But I could never just get myself out of bed. So that's, I'm missing out on that. I can actually focus. I can actually be productive.
Right.
But now I don't kind of have that up and down focus. As long as I get my routine in, it actually gets better as the day goes on. So
I like that.
it's a little bit easier not having to get right out of bed in the morning.
Yeah, I feel like if later on in the day, I feel more like myself as well. I like some sort of like wind up toy. Can I get out of bed? I don't know.
It is nice not having that anxiety of, if I don't get out of bed, my whole day is ruined because I'm going to lose my focus. Like now it's like, well, if I take another 15 minutes, I can still do my routine and I can still get back on track.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, just getting in the right mindset is fucking everything.
It is. Yeah. And some people need a little extra help getting in that mindset.
Do you feel like it's
medication?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we all need different things, right? Everybody's different. Some people take medications. Some people just need a morning cup of joe. Good for them.
Oh, I wish.
Right? Do you find it's easier to just like get back on track if you don't have a great morning now?
I can if I try really hard, which is better than nothing.
Yeah. Yes. What were some of the things that like you talked with your therapist like to help you get to this conclusion? Like what were some of the things that made her realize that maybe you were having these issues? Just the foggy bubble thing, or were there other instances?
I think that was probably a big one, because I don't know, part of lacking stimulation and ending up like so withdrawn into my own mind, I guess, is probably something that stood out. Definitely the lack of ability to take action on things was a big one that stood out to her.
Just not have energy.
It's not even an energy thing. Like I could have all the energy in the world, but I would struggle to make myself do this one specific thing. And it might not even be something that you don't want to do. It might not even be something you're avoiding. It could be something like you want to do. Like I want to build this Lego set, or I want to play this video game. For whatever reason, at that moment, you just cannot do it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's definitely worse with things you don't want to do.
Yeah. Oh, fuck yeah.
Like, but I think a lot of people probably struggle with things they don't want to do. I think the extra step was it's not just that I really don't want to do this thing. Right. It's like there are times when there's nothing I just can't do things like at all. And it's just like this weird barrier where I just like I can't get my mind to connect with my body properly.
Wow. Do you think Kevin has noticed a huge improvement as well?
Oh yeah, like immediately. Even the very first dosage that was super super small. He immediately noticed it. I think what he said was, one of the things he thought was that I'm funnier.
Okay.
Because, like, I'd better, like, snapbacks. Like, if something was said, I could just I just respond to it. And I think that was surprising to him the first few times.
You're like, I ain't letting you get away with shit now.
Yeah. But yeah, he noticed that. I think eventually he also noticed my ability to handle like multiple inputs from multiple directions at one time without getting overwhelmed or overloaded.
Multitasking.
Yes,
Yeah.
just generally being more calm in difficult situations, stressful situations.
You always seem so calm to me under any situation. I don't know.
That could just be me shutting down because I don't know what to do, so I do nothing.
Shit. And I always thought she was cool, calm, and collected this whole fucking time.
That's
Fuck.
my secret.
Oh, no. No, you just say, yeah, I am. I'm fucking awesome. What do you want?
Obviously, yeah.
It's not me shutting
But
down.
no, there's less shutting down, which was a big thing.
Yeah.
And I think would have been more noticeable to Kevin spending, daily time with me.
Being able to actually
respond to things.
Yeah, being able to actually like focus on what's going on.
Yeah.
Instead of just being like, no, no, I'm not doing that.
Yeah. There's a lot less, I'm feeling a way, but I can't communicate what that way is because my whole body has decided that I can't talk right now.
Yeah. Oh, it's like
Which,
paralyzed.
horrible thing.
That sounds terrible. I'm
when you have it in your mind and you know, like you could even know the words to express it, but like for whatever reason you can't say them.
It's the body language thing.
Yeah.
You're like, this is what I'm using. This is what we got right now, guys. Everything else shut down. I'm cool, calm, and collected. You better fucking see this face.
You got to figure it out now because the words are not coming out.
Exactly. Oh my gosh. Well, that's fantastic. I'm very happy that you are on the right path to feeling better in your mind.
Thank you. But it has unlocked a new fear of what if one day the medication just stops working? What do I like? That's the biggest fear I have right now is like, yeah, I feel great. I feel normal. I feel like me again. Like my mind is clear and I don't shut down and I can talk all the time. But what if one day it stopped working and it never works again? That's terrifying now that I know what it feels like.
I think that you don't have to worry about that though. Like all the medical advancements and like new things they're coming out with all the time. Like maybe in like 5-10 years they'll have something that's better to actually measure your medication with and stuff too. Like you never fucking know. Advancements every day. Look at the COVID vaccine, guys.
True.
That one was quick. So I'm just, you never know. I don't think you'll have to worry about that. And then like not only that, they actually have a couple different ones to try as well. I don't know how many different things you've tried, but
right. I've been lucky so far is I'm on 2 different medications and they were both the first 2 that I tried. One of them stopped working and I'm now on the maximum dose of it. So I guess that's where part of that fear comes on is like, if this one ends up not working since I'm at the maximum dose now, I will have to wean off of it to go on to something else. And that's honestly just terrifying.
Oh, well, I mean, it might be terrifying, but it also might never fucking happen.
It's true. There's no point in worrying about something that might not happen.
Exactly. And see, you're able to see that and be like, that's sort of irrational. But
yeah. Let's move forward.
Exactly. You can't stay there. You can't stay here. We can't stay here.
You gotta go home sometime.
Exactly. You gotta go home, but you can't stay here. Oh. All right. I feel like I like that. A clear mind, is that what you would sum up mind?
Yes. Clear mind. Highly, like, I feel like it's one of the most underrated things in the world. Like, if you can obtain a clear mind, do it.
Yeah.
I recommend it.
That's great. I love all those people that are like, you just have to meditate. It's like, wow.
I wish, man. I think
happy for you.
I meditated much younger as a way just to have a chance of not having a panic attack. Like, that was like the best I could do is like, maybe.
Did you
it'll
have a
prevent
lot
the
of panic attacks and stuff when you were younger?
Yeah, when I was younger, it's been a long time. I think the last one was probably sometime in my early 20s, thank God.
Wow.
But it used to be a nightly occurrence.
Oh, no.
So it was like meditate to go to sleep, because you almost feel it bubbling up every time you lay down to go to bed.
Oh, God.
And if I can sleep through it, then it will be fine. But if I wake up, I might have a panic attack.
Oh, no. Was this all like part of possibly all of this that you didn't know back then? Like,
I mean, I have no idea. The fact that they cleared up on their own,
you grew.
I honestly don't know. It's not common for kids to have panic attacks. I don't know if maybe it was like, I was diagnosed with generalized anxiety disorder, which is surprisingly one of the things I'm not being treated for and is not a factor in my life currently.
Okay. Hell yeah.
So I think it was something
you
else,
meditated that shit away.
Yeah, it makes me think that something else was going on, and there was a reason I was having panic attacks as a child. But as far as that goes, I don't know. I don't know if it was just stress or what.
Hormones racing around that time. I got a almost teenage daughter. I know. Fucking everything is gonna cry at the drop of a hat, and I'm like, fucking A, it's just dishes. Stop crying.
What are you supposed to do?
Oh my God. I don't know. I feel like there's so many things with like when you're a teenager that you just kind of you learn / grow out of / kind of learn your own ways of dealing with them. But I guess I don't know. It's wild that you had so many like panic attacks and stuff when you were young. Like, I can't even imagine that. Like,
yeah. And like the thing about it was, at the time, I didn't know that's what they were.
You know, the first time I had one, I was like, I'm dying.
Yep.
Like, I didn't have one until I was like 20. That was my first panic attack. And I was like I'm dying. What's going on?
It's not supposed to be a common occurrence. And like they do, like the more I've learned about them, the more I've gotten older, the more I'm kind of disappointed with how it was handled for me.
Yeah.
Because like apparently like they mimic heart attacks sometimes. Like a panic attack could make
that's why I thought I was dying.
Symptoms of a heart attack happening. Like legitimately your heart is elevated, like you have chest pains, you like have a physical problem.
Yeah.
Like when they show up on the scans, like it looks very similar.
Wow.
So it is a very physical phenomenon, and this was happening to me on a nightly occurrence, and no one ever thought with what was going on,
like, let's go get that checked
maybe
out.
we should go to the hospital right now and figure out what's happening.
Oh my God. Yeah, I can't imagine my child having panic attacks every night and me not thinking that we should figure that out. That seems, I feel like if I found that out about my child, I think I would think something was happening to them at school or something. I don't know.
I mean, they brought me to a therapist during the day, but I guess I couldn't like find the words to describe what was happening to me, because I mean, how do you describe a panic attack, especially if you don't know what it is?
No.
It's like I just literally feel like I'm losing my mind. Like it's a sheer feeling of this just horrible feeling that won't go away, and it like it's the worst feeling I've ever felt. That's all I can describe it.
Right. How does a teenager describe a panic attack? I'm dying. This is the worst. That's all there is to it. I don't know what else to tell you.
That's it. That's all you could say. They eventually, I'm wondering if part of having them every night is sometimes if you have a panic attack repeatedly in a specific situation, that situation is more likely to trigger a panic attack.
Yeah,
so
maybe.
Since I would wake up having a panic attack, going to bed, surprise, starts to trigger a panic attack.
You're like, fuck, I don't want to do this again.
Yep.
Maybe it was like a change in your scenery and stuff too. Did it kind of stop when you moved out and all of that, or?
No.
No.
No,
She was like, no, it did not. No.
They weren't happening as frequently, but they were still definitely happening occasionally. And I think the worst part was that after I like became an adult and moved out, sometimes they would catch me during the day. And that was obviously way, way worse than having them in the middle of the night. As bad as it was,
Right.
when you're in the middle of a social situation, you have a panic attack. That is way worse than just doing it alone in the middle of the night.
Yeah. Oh no. You'd be like, don't.
Especially when you don't have the words to explain what's happening to you.
I'm sorry. I just, I can't. Fucking can't. Can't right
Nope.
now.
And no one can help you, and no one knows what's happening to you. And a lot of people interpret it as something like worse, like you are having like some kind of situation.
Right. Right. And then they all try to fix you.
Or they just stop inviting you places.
Oh, well, fuck them.
But all kinds of things. All kinds of things.
All kinds of things. Yeah. No, that's fucking rough. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm glad a lot of that has grown out of you, or you've learned to cope with it better, I feel like, maybe.
I think the weirdest part about it is that, like, not always, but sometimes, since I was so used to having them, I could quietly excuse myself and no one would ever know. They would just think I was leaving early for some other reason.
Oh. You're like, you could feel it coming on? Like, just like, this is too much for me? Overstimulation?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, there's very familiar feeling when it starts coming on. And sometimes it comes on very, very fast, so you have a very small window, so it might seem very abrupt.
You're like, I gotta fucking dip out now. Bye.
Like, I gotta go. Bye. Sorry.
Yeah, gotta go. Bye. Those beers are yours. See ya.
Yep. But yeah, it's...
getting older,
tough.
you've learned. You're like, fucking, I know myself now.
Exactly. Like, no one should ever have so many panic attacks that they can actually do that.
Yeah, no, especially at a young age. You're like, the fuck?
No, I just, I think people should just be more aware of stuff like that. Like, I try to give grace to people as much as I can if something weird happens.
What would you have liked people to do in those situations? Would there be a best case scenario, or is that not really how that works? Because, like, I have friends and stuff that have panic attacks often, and I don't get them that frequently, so I'm not exactly sure how to deal with them sometimes.
No, I get that. I think, honestly, the only thing that really worked for me was, removing me from busy or loud situation, finding a place that wasn't quiet, but, like, with some nice, soft background noise.
Just chill. Just somewhere chill.
Consistent sound helped, but it had to be the right sound. And like, just like not having to talk or have a conversation about it, and just being able to sit and move around if I had to, because that was a big thing, is sometimes sitting too still would make it worse too.
Right. It's like, I don't fucking want to be here. You can't make me. Fuck. Yeah.
No, sometimes with panic attacks, literally everything makes it worse.
Yeah.
But you kind of just like have to let the person try and find the thing that doesn't make it worse, and then let them do that thing. Mm-hmm. And I think it can be very hard because, like, someone who's in that state of panic can't really communicate that well.
Right.
They might yell, or they might be like, stop, or like say shush you, because like something you've done is making it worse, and it's not a personal thing. It's just like, I literally cannot deal with the sound that's coming out of you.
I'm here right now and you're over there. We need you to stop, okay? Yeah. All right. So some chill, and let them chill. Let them be chill.
Yeah, I think maybe like one or two times asking what can I do to help is good, but then like eventually could get overbearing if they don't have an answer, you know?
Right. I mean, sometimes nobody's got an answer to that. I don't fucking know. I'm not having a panic attack. If somebody asks me, I'm like, oh, I don't know, man.
I think just staying calm is the most important thing, because other people panicking is not gonna.
Oh yeah. Oh my God, fuck! What do I do?
What do I do? How can I help you?
How about you stop doing that? Right? Pretty much. Okay. So she's really cool, calm, and collected under all of that, though. Yeah. Definitely.
Totally.
Oh man. All right. Well, how about, shall we move on to a body?
I feel like that was a really big mind session, so we can absolutely move forward.
I mean, yeah. What do we got? We're going to go into the more physical realm, possibly?
I think when I think of body, I try and think of comfort.
Comfort, okay.
Yeah.
What
Like,
comforts you the most?
geez. I mean, I love sleeping.
Sleeping?
Which is weird, considering how much difficulty I've had with sleeping in my life. I just love doing it now.
Yes.
Um,
And you love when you're a child and you're like, I don't fucking want to go to bed. And you're like, now I'm like, no, but sleep, please.
Just let me sleep.
Let
Please,
me
just let me sleep.
Yeah. So,
comfort, clothing, not just clothing that is comfortable, but clothing that makes you feel good.
ah, yes. I mean, that's the power suit, right? The power suit mantra.
Yeah, it could be your power suit. I don't know. A power suit's never really made me feel especially confident.
The power suit is a state of mind. It's not an actual
it's a
suit.
state of mind. Whatever
Yeah.
is your power suit.
Yeah.
It could be anything.
Your power suit could be ripped jeans and a crop top. It's whatever makes you happy, right?
Exactly.
I love that. Yeah. I mean, your physical, what you put out, definitely affects how you feel. I think so. That makes sense.
Yes, and I think part of that is just being comfortable in your own skin, no matter what that skin is, no matter what that body looks like. I think it's fine to want to improve things or to want to be stronger or to like want to work on something, get more cardio because you get winded easy. But I think no matter what state your body is in at any given time, you have to find comfort in it in some way.
Yeah. I feel like that's kind of the thing. Everybody's so, I got to fix this. I got to fix that. I got to work on this. I got to work on that. But at the end of the day, how do you feel? How do you feel?
Because a lot of times, if you have goals surrounding stuff like that, they'll come a lot easier if you're comfortable with the body you already have.
Yeah. And making
to do it
small
to hate
changes.
your body,
yeah.
It's not gonna stick.
No.
It's too difficult.
That's like the crash diets.
Yes. Jeez, yeah.
And I'm gonna eat crackers and water for 33 days, and it's gonna. Just like, okay, bitch, but that's not gonna last.
If you do something like that, you really gotta hate your body. Like,
there is not love for it there. That's definitely not gonna stick. That's true.
Yeah, I mean, like, I understand a lot of different things that people try. There are just some things out there that I'm like, oh man, I if that were the only thing I could do to make any kind of change I wanted to my body, I'd rather just be comfortable the way I am.
You're not into the tapeworm diet?
God.
Send away to the magazine to get your very own tapeworm friend.
Horrible.
No, thank you. No. Yeah, I mean, I think that's the thing. Like, gotta send love to your body.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It's
of the utmost.
I don't know, man. I know that people have disorders, have difficulty looking at their bodies the way they are, but that's, I don't know, if we could all just kind of toss out that media bullshit.
Oh, wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't that be great?
Yeah.
Sorry, the magazine's wrong. Social media, you're wrong. TV, you're wrong. Everybody's wrong, y'all. There's no perfect body. Your body is your perfect body.
Exactly. It's the body that sustains you.
Yeah. It's here for more than just looks. Although I do like to, dye mine. Sorry.
Yes.
I like it to look well too. But I feel like that's...
I mean, and that's, when you dye your hair, it makes you feel good.
Exactly. I know. It's one of those things. It's like, it's the small thing that makes me so happy. So happy. Just colors. And it doesn't take much.
Expression.
Yeah. It doesn't hurt anybody. It's actually good for my hair. My hair is super greasy, so it needs to be bleached every now and again to make it feel like normal hair. I don't know. just,
I mean, whatever works, right?
yeah. I feel, isn't that like everybody's thing? Like everybody's like, they struggle with their hair in their teens and they're like, I can't fucking figure it out. And then you get a little older and you're like, oh, I have this routine. And then you talk to somebody else and they have like, oh, I have this routine. And it's like the exact opposite of yours, but it works for my hair. And it's like, everybody's hair is so freaking different. It's weird, man.
It is. I've, for the first time in my life, managed to wash my hair less often.
Isn't that the fucking thing? Like when you're a teenager and you're like, I have to wash my hair every fucking day. And now
It's horrible.
And now I'm
horrible.
older and I'm like, no, don't do that, baby child. Although then I see my teenage daughter and I'm like, oh, go wash your fucking hair. It's gross.
What can you do?
You can't do anything. Every teen's hair is gross. It's just facts. It's like they don't know what to do with it yet. And even if they did, they can't control it. It's all hormonal.
Yep. Sure is.
Sure is. Oh, they're just hanging on by a thread back then. I don't know. Although I used to dye the shit out of my hair back then too, though, so I can't say much. Just still doing it.
Same. I had to stop in my 20s because, I don't know, jobs, work.
That's fucking stupid. I don't understand why so many people, like, jobs nowadays, like, actually give a shit what people work, like, what they look like. What was I the other day? It's like fucking fast food or something, and they're like, oh, I can't dye my hair, and I'm like, you don't make enough to give two shits about that. I'm sorry. You dye your hair, you get your tattoos, whatever you want to do because you're making minimum wage and nobody gets to tell you what to look like for that. I'm sorry.
Jobs I had, I mean, with an exception, but they were the strictest about what I could look like. And I'm just like, but why?
Right. Especially this day and age. And it's like, how are we measuring people's worth simply by their looks and appearance and not anything based on like what their actual output is and how well they do at their job?
Like people that dye their hair, they get tattoos, they obviously have a certain care about their appearance. I think you'd want people that care about their appearance in customer facing roles.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, just because you disagree with their appearance doesn't mean they don't care about it.
Right.
Like, they're putting in effort, clearly.
Yeah. It's just not the effort you would put in. They don't want to wear a literal power suit.
Yeah. If I wasn't dyeing my hair, I also wasn't really styling it because what's the point?
Yeah. What's the point?
Brush it. Maybe if it was especially bad, run a straightener through it, but
But
you
why?
don't let me care about my hair, so
Right.
I'll do the bare minimum on it.
The bare minimum. I just saw, what was it, the other day they came out with the new lessened guidelines for the Disney employees at the Tokyo, Japan Disney. And they were like, anybody that has lighter hair than like a medium brown must dye it dark brown.
Heard about stuff like that in Japan.
Yeah, they have some
It's very
real
strange.
strict, weird. And I'm like, oh, you better not have any foreigners work for your company because you'll have to dye your hair black, basically. Like, what?
Or even at this point, like, I'm sure there are a lot of people in Japan, born in Japan, that naturally have lighter hair.
For sure.
Easily.
Oh, yeah, it's lighter than medium dark brown. It's like, what?
At some point, you're going to have to let go of that.
Right. It's like, what? I can almost see them saying, like, no crazy colors, but, like,
Sure.
just dark brown. That's all you get. So you get dark
Also
brown.
at Disney?
Right. Yeah. It's magical. I mean, at Disney here, you can't really have crazy colors or anything either, so.
Well, sure, but, like, how many Disney princesses are blonde?
Right, exactly. All of the characters that play Aurora, black hair. No, that's not going to work. Sleeping Beauty is not a dark brunette. But, yeah, dress codes are wild, man. I liked when I worked at Wegmans, and they're like, you don't do whatever you want. I didn't dye my hair then, but I still did whatever I want, and it was great. space buns and crazy makeup.
Yeah.
Because that's who I am.
I work for a company now that doesn't have a dress code, so...
Yes. They're like, how well do they work, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Basically.
That's the way it should be. That's the way it should be. I don't think it should be dependent on how you look, but... I mean, hey. It's the world we live in now. Craziness.
That's comfort.
Comfort. Bodily comfort. And sleeping. Naps.
Definitely sleeping.
Naps.
That's part of comfort.
A good clothes. Be comfortable with who you are. What else is comfy? Maybe a good meal. That's always comfy.
Good meals are definitely comfort.
I don't know. I had tacos earlier and I'm like, I'm ready for a nap.
They go hand in hand.
They do. It's comfort all around. You get the good food, it makes the nap, and it makes you happy, and you're comfy in your comfy bed. Clean sheets. Yeah.
My sheets are washing right now.
Oh, I'm so jealous.
Actually, I should make sure that Kevin put them in the dryer. I'm going to text him.
Get those in the dryer, baby. Clean sheets. Nothing is comfier. Fresh. When they're warm too. That's the real.
But yeah, speaking of Kevin, we had a fun conversation the other night. I never thought that lingerie was all that great.
Oh yeah? No.
Like, a lot of lingerie has like the same kind of look to it, and a lot of it is just like, here's a somewhat fancier bra and some fancy underwear.
Right.
It's like a straight up bustier, like, kind of thing. A
lot of lace, and like all the lace,
and yeah, and he was like, yeah, like a lot of like normal lingerie makes me think of like back in the day, like with the
like the 50s like, housewives sort of thing.
Yeah, like stuff like that. And I was like, yeah, that's a good point, because like recently I found a lingerie company that they market their lingerie for like normal daytime wear.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
And I had bought a piece for like a little costume kind of party that we were going to kind of wear under like a button up where it would like be unbuttoned and like
like the little undershirt thing. Yeah.
And it was like lace down with a phoenix on it.
Ooh, that's fun.
And I was like, it was very cool, and I was like, it made me feel very comfortable, and it was like the first piece of lingerie I've ever not just bought but like saw and was like, I like that, I would wear that.
Fuck yeah.
So then I went and bought like 3 more pieces from the same website.
Yay.
They have the kind of things that I like on lingerie, or just in general, I guess, like not particularly on lingerie, like dragons.
Yeah.
And
fuck yeah.
Snakes.
I think that's the thing, like you said, like it just makes you, like that word just makes you think like, oh, lace, old-timey 50s, like fucking satin, ugly, this isn't comfy. But that's not, no. See, lingerie is anything that you just feel sexy in. I think that's how I think of it anyways. Like, I don't know, I wear a lot of weird shit, so.
Fine.
That's that. But yeah, that's I feel like that's one of those things, like you said, like being comfortable in your own skin and being like, this is what I want to wear. Wasn't that like the fucking thing for a while in like the 90s? We're wearing like the satin, like lingerie bustier top things as just a regular top. And it's like, yeah, it's whatever you fucking want it to be.
Yeah, that was a thing too. Yeah, maybe that's where I'm thinking of like the bustier.
Yeah.
Typical lingerie.
I loved everybody was like really into corsets for a while and just wearing them, and I'm like,
Doesn't sound comfortable to me.
I love. See, this is a thing where it depends on the person, because I have always loved corsets. They are so comfortable to me, but I found that I think that I realize a lot of people are very different in how they like the fit of their clothes. Seeing as like I make clothes for people.
Sure, yeah.
And like I've come to the realization that I love clothes that fit as tight as humanly possible. Like I want to be squeezed, and like I know, I feel like I've come to the conclusion that most people don't like that, and I'm a weirdo, but that's how I like it. And so I've come to the conclusion that I love corsets for that reason, because they're just really tight. And they're also great for your posture. Fantastic.
Oh, yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah, they're like I used to, when I owned more of them. I don't own that many anymore, but when I used to own more of them, I would just wear them around my house because I just like them.
Okay.
But I mean, and again, it goes back to like what's comfortable to you. Like, do you like you said, lingerie is like, some of it's very flowy and like, and then some of it's super fucking tight, and it's all like, what do you like though?
I want it.
Maybe you just want dinosaurs on it, and that's fucking fine too.
Maybe I just want phoenixes and dragons and dinosaurs.
Yes.
I don't know.
Hell yeah. It's whatever you feel like. I've got cute little like Hello Kitty jammy, like it's lingerie, but it looks like a little kid's jammies, but like, you know, for adults, obviously, because I'm not a little child, but it's got little Hello Kitty print on it. And it's like, okay, but if you just saw that somewhere, you'd be like, oh, that's kids' pajamas. No.
Sure.
It's adult lingerie for me, because that's what I like.
Exactly.
It's all what you want. Dinosaurs or phoenixes. I love that.
That's the way to do it.
I feel like that goes, but what was the episode that we had that was like the free the nip one? And you're just like, it's just like, that's one of those things where it's like, it's whatever you're comfortable in.
Sure.
And I mean, some people are comfortable just letting it all be out. That's fine.
Used to be more comfortable without a bra, and then there came a point where they just became too heavy, and
yeah,
it's got to be the right bra. A lot of bras are still very uncomfortable, but I have found some good ones.
Again, this is one of those things that you get older and you start learning some shit about yourself.
Yes.
Like what you like in clothes and what you don't like in clothes.
Exactly.
I feel like that, again, when I was younger, you could not catch me without a bra, ever. Fucking ever. And now I'm like, you're lucky if you see me in one for half of a week. I'm just saying.
Oh, yeah. During COVID, there were no bras.
Yeah. And all the guys in the fucking comments is saying that, you know, girls are sluts for not wearing bras. Let's see you wear one. Okay, bitch? Let's see you wear one, because I don't see it happen.
Like, I could see men's rock hard nipples straight through their dress shirts. Like,
right. They don't get a pass. If we don't get a pass, they don't get a pass. The fuck? I'm sorry. Sorry, not sorry. That's one of those things. It's one of those things. It was a surprise. Did you read any of those comments on that?
I read a couple. It was very strange.
I was like, what? And the other thing, I was like, read the room, bitch. Do you not see my shirt? Like, you don't see our reactions? You're in the wrong comments section here. Nobody agrees with you.
So it's very strange. Some people just don't notice. Some people don't care.
Yeah, that's probably more it. They don't care. Just like, this is wild. They want to enter the Twilight Zone where they think that they own the right to tell us to wear bras because they feel something.
It's very strange.
Whose fault is that, right? It's not my fault that they feel that way.
Not my fault.
It's their own damn fault. Guys of the internet, y'all are wild. Get a life. This is my PSA to you.
Yeah. And don't date women. Stay away from them.
Exactly.
They're better off without you.
They are. So true. Better off without you. And also wear a bra. Yeah,
if you got such hang-ups about nipples, you should probably wear a bra.
All right. They don't make man bras. They should make man bras. For those men.
I feel like you could find one in the right size.
Maybe. I'll make them some man bras.
There you go.
They're a version to nipples. You must pay me, and then I'm still gonna show my nipples, and it'll be fine. Too bad. Oh gosh. Okay. So we've got comfort here. I love that. Should we go on to soul? What sets your soul on fire?
Sure. Um, Man,
So
I
many
feel like
things.
soul is more like not necessarily spirituality because I don't feel especially spiritual myself,
Mm-hmm.
but like what you believe in, kind of what makes you move,
Yeah, yeah.
what you feel.
What you feel? What you feel? Feel that energy. So, do you not believe in a God? Not
Not
particularly. Not particularly.
not particularly. I'd say I'm fully atheist, um,
Okay.
but uh, raised raised Christian.
I feel like as most of us were around here,
Yeah,
around these parts.
yeah, yeah.
Do you think like growing up and seeing all that and like is that what made you like, oh no, this is not fucking for me. All that shit is crazy.
I had a pretty good church experience for the most part.
Hmm.
It was a pretty chill place, pretty
Did you go every Sunday?
judgmental. We went a lot of Sundays when I was really young,
Okay.
um, which is funny because I think that's how I developed a sleeping in habit was every Sunday. I sometimes
Hmm.
if I didn't get out of bed, I think my parents wouldn't think it was worth it to make us get out of bed.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So I developed this very bad habit of not getting out of bed in the morning. Um,
Oh, all
that's
right.
Jesus's fault.
No, Jesus. You made this
I feel
bed too comfortable, Jesus. Thank you.
that was for sure a blaspheme. I apologize to the religious folk. Um,
You know what? We're not telling you not to believe what you want to believe.
True.
That's it.
Yeah, I've always been, I don't know, a very skeptical child of things that I couldn't.
Tangibly see.
Yeah, and that, I mean, that very well could have been even an aspect of all the shit I've going on up here.
Like I can't believe in any of that shit. Sorry. I don't have time for it.
Which is funny because I'm also very naive about people telling me things. Like the amount of times where Kevin just says some bullshit and I'm like, "Oh, really?" And I just fully and truly believe him. No matter what it is he's saying. Got much better about it because he's done it so many times, even when he, I guess, doesn't mean to do it.
You're like, I'm calling your bullshit. And he's like, I haven't even said any bullshit yet. Nope. It's all bullshit, I can tell.
It's very much a, oh, really? Oh, no, you're fucking with me again.
Oh, no.
I try and make him feel bad. I say, the only reason this happens is because I trust you implicitly.
It's true. It's true.
You can't say things like that.
Yeah. Don't you know I'll believe you? Fuck.
I like to think my taste in movies and media, as a young child, was part of it.
Yeah.
I had this weird thing about movies involving death.
Okay. Like what? Like what movies?
So a lot of my top hits were like The Land Before Time.
Oh, yeah. I'll fuck
Fluke,
you up.
about a man who dies in the first 5 minutes of the movie and gets reincarnated as a dog.
What?
Yeah. I swear it's a family movie, marketed as such.
What is this movie?
It's called Fluke.
Fluke? I don't think. When was this released? When we were children, I'm assuming.
Yeah, early 90s.
Okay, That sounds terrifying. It was a kids movie?
Family movie.
Okay. Just.
I mean, it's supposed to be appropriate for
like
kids.
PG-13, but back in the day, PG-13.
Yeah, like when PG-13 was PG and PG was G.
Right. Gotcha. Okay.
It might. I don't remember. I think it probably had a PG on it because of themes of death. But yes, it was very much movies in that vein. A lot of movies that involve death. A lot of books that involve death.
Oh, jeez.
I don't know. I liked movies like that. And I watched them a lot as a kid, over and over and over. And one, like, I don't know. I just wasn't really sold on the whole we all go to heaven and God.
Did you watch All Dogs Go to Heaven?
I did, yeah, I did.
Mm.
It was not one of my top hits, actually.
No. Well, that's because they went to heaven. No.
That's it. That's the problem.
This one's unbelievable. I'm sorry.
I have lots of memories of asking my parents how they know God exists.
ooh, inquisitive.
So many memories.
What were
And
their
a lot of the
answers?
explanations came down to because I believe it. And apparently for my child mind, that was not an appropriate answer.
I
And then
mean,
I think I mortified them one day. Um, every day at the end of our church session, congregation,
okay.
whatever you call it, when you leave, the pastor would stand at the exit
Yeah,
and he'd
you
shake
shake their
everyone's
hand.
hand on
Yeah.
the way out and like you have a little word or two.
Yeah.
And one day on our way out, I asked him
Oh,
how he
oh.
knew
I
things
love
were
that. That's
my poor
ballsy. I would have never done that as a child. I'd have been way too scared. I'd be like, I'm gonna go to hell if I ask him questions like that. Well,
to his credit, he didn't miss a beat and very friendly and he like had an answer right away. I can't remember. I was very young
yeah.
when I asked this question. But I mean he had a good answer as far as I remember and it was a very kind and kid-friendly answer.
Oh.
Um it didn't I mean it maybe helped keep me around the church a little bit longer. Um but I think that that kind of like goes more to the core beliefs that I feel like I probably have always had in a sense, but like more so have defined in older years is that I have a bigger faith in people. And I know there's a lot of horrible people there,
Shit.
but you know,
Kristi,
as
that's
a whole,
dangerous.
that's where my faith lies. Kind of because you know, like it has to. Like there have to be people out there like that, or else what's the point?
Right.
And that's I think that's probably why what he said probably touched me a bit more is because it was just a very human, kind, and as far as I could tell, incredibly sincere response.
Oh, good. Well, I mean, I think that's the thing as a kid, and you're like getting all these non-fucking answers from your parents, and then you ask somebody that you know believes so much,
Sure.
and they have like an actual decent answer for you. You're like, fuck, maybe they do, right? That doesn't mean I'm going to, but maybe they truly do, right?
Yeah.
Wow, that's one of those things where I don't know. I could have never done that as a child. I could have never done that. I'd be like, I'm gonna go straight to hell if I ask. I don't know.
I think it was very lucky that our congregation was not at all fear based.
Well, there you go. That's good. I'm guessing that he possibly worked with children and knew that little kids would ask these kind of questions and sort of had an answer already, maybe.
Yeah. He must have been just very good with kids and I think they probably made the entire situation very very kid friendly and just nice in general. Eventually he had to step down for some reason. I think there was some shenanigans and everything really went shit after that.
Hopefully money shenanigans and not children shenanigans.
No, yeah, it was money shenanigans.
Okay.
It was definitely money shenanigans.
Okay. It's like,
but
rather those
yeah,
kind of shenanigans.
that was kind of the last time I ever really went to church because at that point, like they had lost all my faith that I had in the people of the congregation. Right. So that was essentially the core of my belief. So like whether or not I truly felt that I believed in the religion, I believed in the people who were there, right, at least. And once that was done, I really didn't have that faith anymore.
Right.
So I didn't see any reason to seek out another church for that specifically.
Right. I would say all the times you hear about these shenanigans makes you not. I mean, at least for me, I'm not especially religious in any way, but I hear so much crazy shit about all the like every church stealing money and doing shit with kids and this and that and like fucking like, why do you want to go to that? Why do you want to put yourself there? It's like I don't know. Like I can believe what I want to believe from here, and I don't need to put myself in that weird, like, I don't know. I guess it's like finding people that believe what you believe, but how do you know they do?
It's like the whole sense of the church is supposed to be there for the community, not the other way around. Like when a church is operated right, yes, it exists on donations. Yes, the people who run the place need to get a set amount of pay.
Right.
But
Everybody's got to live.
Like a truly good church is meant to give back to the community. If
Right.
a congregant is having a difficult time, they're supposed to help them financially if necessary.
Right.
and
Not
you
that
really don't see a lot of
10%.
churches stepping up for the people that are truly struggling like that.
Not anymore,
And
unfortunately.
it's not enough to just like do a donation bin and pass it out. Like you really have to be there for your community as well. And I don't think we have enough of that in churches days, which is just very sad because it could have been a good community, you know?
Yeah. I don't know how it is there in Austin. I know, like, when we were in Syracuse, you could fucking throw a stone and hit a church, like, on every goddamn street corner. I'm taking the Lord's name again. Shit.
Yeah. It's weird because I don't really notice it, but there are more mega churches here, so maybe that's what it is.
Maybe.
Is like you go to a like 2,000 person congregation.
Right.
Like,
How many people are they helping?
oh,
Lots.
definitely not the
Obviously.
community, like not the people that actually go to the church. Like how could they?
Right.
That's too big. There's too many people.
Too big. It's too big. I know your area is probably very religious as well as down here in the South.
It's not as in your face in Austin as you might think it would be.
Ah, well that's good.
Austin's kind of different.
Yeah, they do
It's a little bit different than what you'd expect Texas to be. It's like honestly, the topic of religion never even comes up around here. I've never really had a conversation with anyone here about religion.
Oh, it'll be around here. You will be. What church do you go to? About that. Yeah.
No.
My own. Thanks. Yeah. So mostly we're believing in the good in people, some yin and yang situation.
I mean, obviously protect yourself.
Yeah.
Be wary of strangers. Don't feel like you have to be polite to anybody, especially if they make you uncomfortable. But as an overall thing, I think I need people as a whole group to be more good than they are bad.
Yeah. I feel like when people end up doing stupid shit, I feel like it's not so much that they're bad people. I mean, there are bad people, obviously, but I feel like it's mostly when people fuck up, it's just like their own stupidity or like just not generally that it's they're bad people. I mean, like I said, there are bad people, but I don't know. I feel like most time it's people just making shit decisions. I don't know.
I mean, I think the phrase that like really helps me a lot, especially to avoid the road rage because it is everywhere here, is always assume ignorance before malice.
Ah, I like that. That.
They're not intending to do this thing that they're doing right now. They just don't realize that they're doing it, or they don't realize that they're not supposed to be doing it, or they didn't notice you there, or you know, just it's not about you is the thing it is. It's about them.
Oh, for sure.
They're doing what they're doing. And you could get mad about it, or you could just deal with it.
I feel like a lot of people are just kind of living in their own fucking bubble. Like, I almost got hit in a parking lot today. I backed out and I was like I hit drive, and then the lady next to me just starts backing right into me, and I was like, I had to blare on my horn. I'm like, how did you not? I'm literally next to you. How did you not see me? I'm 2 inches away from your back bumper. For realsies, you didn't even, not a glance, nothing.
Impossible.
People are in their own bubble, just constantly. I like that saying. That's a good one.
Yeah. It helps. It helps me personally, which is, I guess, the only point of it is.
It helps in your bubble.
Other people. Yeah, I can't change what other people are going to do.
No.
I can only change how I react to it.
Yeah.
And what good does it do to get upset about it?
Do you have the road rage, or are we referring to other people's road rage?
I don't. I have struggled with getting really angry about things that people do on the road. but I try to take that mentality of just assume they didn't mean to do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It helps. It helps a lot. It helps with the frustration.
I just
Be
chit
a
chat with
safer
cars.
driver.
Sometimes I just chit chat with them. I'm like, man, why'd you do that? That's
Yeah.
not a good turn. Don't come over here.
I get a lot of, what are you doing?
Yeah. But why?
Like, I literally don't understand some of
Right.
these things.
Like, didn't you see that stop sign, man? What the hell? I feel like that's been mine. When I was younger, I had a boyfriend that had extreme road rage. Like, to the point he worked on cars, and he had like a box of like bolts and nuts that he would chuck out the window on the highway at people, and you could kill somebody doing that. He was,
Oh my God.
and I was like, every time I'm like, can you not? Like, why? Like, so what? They cut you off. They didn't hit your car. You're gonna live. I just don't understand. Like, and I'm like, that much anger is just poisoning yourself. It's just poisoning yourself. It's not gonna do anything. They can't see you. Granted, if you hit them with a bolt in their windshield, they will, and that's not good. People carry guns around here.
They sure do. They do around here too. We actually had an incident a couple months ago where someone shot someone out of road rage and killed them, and it was very bad.
That, that's one of those things. It's like, I think I have another story about my uncle when he was younger, and he cut somebody off, and the person had a gun, and they tailgated him with their gun for miles. And my uncle was like freaking out because he's like, if I stop the car, they're going to get out and shoot me.
Yeah, no, at that point, you kind of have to just keep going.
Yes. So he drove and drove until he was like, oh, I know what to do. And he drove to the police station. And they did not follow him into the police station parking lot. So, yeah, don't, like, why people road rage so hard? Stop it. Like,
Yeah.
So he cut you off. And what?
No, I've taken, especially since being here, because driving is a goddamn nightmare.
But I thought you were in the middle of nowhere.
Well, I kind of live in the middle of nowhere, but if I want to go anywhere, I have to drive.
You have to
into
drive
the city
into
proper.
this. Okay, you have to go into the out of the middle of the nowhere. Okay.
Yeah, and I mean, when we first moved down here, we were kind of right in the middle of it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, anytime I'm driving, and it still happens out here anyway. It's almost worse out here.
If all this road, they're still gonna rage on it.
I've started to just give just an extreme amount of space around me. Just there's no reason to drive close to the person in front of you unless you're actively trying to prevent people from moving into that space, which I have no need to do at this point in my life.
If you gotta get there faster than me, that's you go. You're probably gonna hit somebody, but whatever.
One thing I learned here is it doesn't matter if the space is there; people will move into it.
Oh yeah.
So I just give as much space as I can. I've gotten honked at more for letting people merge in front of me than I have for doing anything wrong on the street here easily. Like
how dare you be so nice,
multiples.
Kristi? How fucking dare you?
It is insane to me the amount of times I leave space and let someone in and someone behind me honks at me. And I'm just like, what the merging. The lanes are literally merging. Or this person's just trying to get on the highway and this is the lane you need to be in to get in the highway. And there's nowhere else to get in because it's just a wall of cars. They got to get in somewhere.
Right. And also, it's not up to you back there, okay? Shut up. Oh, that's wild. That's wild. I don't know. Does everybody drive like super crazy there too?
They do.
Yeah.
The amount, like, it's been a little bit better lately. But like there was a point where every single time I got into my car, I would watch near accidents happen just
Yes.
multiple times in a single 20-minute drive, and I just insane. It made me get a dash cam.
Oh,
Because one of these days
that's
something's
smart.
going to happen.
Yeah, we need one of those. We need one of those. We don't have one of those. I think about it occasionally, and I'm like, that's probably a smart thing to do.
Texas is a state where you have to prove fault. So if fault can't be proven, it defaults to 50-50.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, that's a little different.
So I, for multiple reasons, but mostly for a peace of mind.
So I'm assuming most people out in Texas then have dash cams and stuff to protect themselves, or is it still kind of an uncommon thing?
I think a lot of people in Austin do.
Yeah.
I don't know about the greater Texas area, but like I think it's pretty common here. You see a lot of them get posted online.
Yeah, I mean,
and I'm like, yeah, that's Austin.
I was gonna say, I feel like every time I see like dash cam footage, and I'm like, why does so many people have dash cams? And I'm like, okay, this makes sense now. If you're in a state like that, or you have to prove it, then I would assume there's a lot more people with them than without them, or at least the smart ones have one. Maybe. Do you guys have emissions there? Like we did, like you have to go get your car checked and stuff?
Oh, you have to register your car annually, and to do that, you need to do an inspection. But it's literally a 10-minute inspection where they like look at your car and make sure like no lights are on, and then they check your brakes and they send you on your way with a pass.
Nice. Yeah, see, Florida doesn't have that. The amount of cars that I've seen literally being driven while on fire, like plumes of smoke coming out. Probably about 4. Jesus. We've been here for 2 years.
That's insane.
And then, one time I saw a car literally like engulfed in flames. Just engulfed in flames. The person was outside of the car, thankfully. They were fine.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm like, the thing about not checking people's cars is there's people that just drive them until they no more go. They say no go. They say explodey, and they say I still drive. You're like, how, why?
No.
So none of that, thankfully. Okay.
I mean, you do see a lot of older cars here, but I've never really seen any fire issues. You do get a lot of breakdowns, a lot of blown out tires in the summer.
Oh.
Yeah.
Weird.
I actually just bought a whole new set of tires because I've never bought new tires on my car. It's now 8 years old.
Wow, dang.
And I didn't want to end up as one of those people on the side of the roads this summer with a blown out tire.
So yeah, go get a lottery ticket. That's like some magic right there. This is nice. Whatever tires you have, get the same ones. Just brand new ones. They're good ones.
Oh, I bought the cheapest ones possible because I'm hoping to sell my car soon.
Oh, okay. Then never mind. That's fine. Fresh new tires. Don't worry about what kind they are.
It's fine.
Well, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah. Wow, that's one of those things. Is you don't think about the crazy cars, and then you see the fire cars, and you're like, just why? How? Oh, both two of the cars where they're just plumes of smoke. The person inside, windows up, smoking a cigarette. I'm like,
oh my God.
Like I don't understand. And it's like, you think they're just limping off to the side of the road. No, they're stopped at the light, and then they just keep going, and you see them, and you're just like,
what are you doing?
I think it's time to get your car checked out, sir. All right. Well, we have delved into mind, body, and soul with you. Now the final thing for Liquid Space Discussions. You have any fun party stories? It doesn't have to be you. It can be somebody you know. You can give them aliases too. That might be fun.
So I was thinking about party stories before this because you told me to think about party stories. Yeah. And so many parties that I went to just blur together.
Don't they?
So much.
What's up with that?
Too much drinking in the early 20s.
Yeah.
But I I could maybe like share some highlights.
Oh, fuck yeah. Highlights.
From some
Yeah.
parties.
Fuck yeah.
Just some
Teens?
fun.
Teens? 20s?
Really didn't start doing a lot of parties until like 19 at earliest.
Mm-hmm.
A lot in my 20s. But yeah, I think that the bulk of the good stories probably in that time where I had my own apartment.
Hell yeah.
Apartment.
Hell yeah.
There was one party I went to. It was a pumpkin carving party, which was great.
Okay. That sounds like you have wine and you carve a pumpkin and it's cute.
Yeah, it was not wine.
No, okay.
Too young for that.
Okay.
Pumpkins, yes.
Pumpkins, okay.
I knew someone went to high school with who always a bit strange, always a bit he didn't really emote much.
Okay.
Very, very stern person. And Dan knows this person.
Okay. Are we giving him an alias or are we saying the name?
We'll give him an alias. We'll just say Rick.
Yeah. Rick, this is about you.
He wasn't really getting into the carving spirit, so he just started picking up knives and stabbing him into his pumpkin. And he, like, probably the first time I've ever seen, like, looked really happy. Huge old smile on his face.
Oh.
And he just goes, man, if this is what stabbing people is like, I like it.
And that's when you say, where's this school therapist? Keep an eye on this kid over here. Rick's a little cuckoo.
Yeah. So that was I haven't really seen him a lot since that friend group disbanded.
He didn't end up stabbing anybody, correct?
No.
Okay.
I feel like I would have heard about it by now if he had.
Maybe he's gotten the help that he's needed, okay?
Maybe. I haven't heard anything about him in a long time, so I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah, you just imagine that he's doing great somewhere. He's gotten the help that he's needed. He's got a dog. Yeah. He's doing great.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then there's another party I went to. It's some midsummer party. I don't know if that there was a specific reason for it. Mm-hmm. Everybody was very toasty. I was very toasty.
Yeah.
And had a friend who was a vegan at the time. And I don't know, they were serving hot dogs, among other things.
Okay.
And I had a hot dog. And for whatever reason, it was the best hot dog I've ever eaten in my entire life.
It's because you were toasty. That's why.
Exactly.
We're sopping up all of that toasty liquid in there.
Yeah. So I turned to my friend and go, this is the best hot dog I've ever had in my life. You should have one.
Oh, no.
And then she's laughing and she's just like, but I'm vegan. And I was like, oh. And I looked down at the hot dog and I looked back up and I was like, you should have a bun.
Yes.
And she just goes, yeah. And she goes and gets a bun.
And she's like,
and everyone around us is like, what the fuck?
You don't understand.
But like we were both really into it.
Yeah.
I later threw up the hot dog on the lawn.
Yeah. It wasn't the best hot dog ever then. No, it was.
But it was a good moment that apparently no one else was at our level, but we were.
You know what? That's fine. That's fine. Oh my gosh. Did she put condiments on said bun?
Nope. She just ate the bun.
And it was the best bun she ever had. Yeah.
She did say that, like, she'd agreed that it was a really great bun.
That's fantastic. Oh my gosh. That's great. Sometimes it's the things it's like nobody else fucking understands, but you were there, and like if you were there and you understood, then you know. But if you weren't, then you can just laugh at me and my hot dog bun, and it's fine. It's fine.
There is another story involving Dan.
Oh, snap.
Which I'm sure he won't mind I tell this one because it's fucking hilarious.
That's great. I love when somebody else tells his stories because they're usually better when somebody else says them.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So we were at a party at the house of someone from high school. And I'm sure he already knows exactly where I'm going with this. So it's going to be real fun. And we go to take a walk. And we go to this park. And he looks down on the ground and he sees this really cool flower.
A flower. Okay. All right.
It's like green and like kind of like has multiple pieces puffing up.
Oh, okay.
It's round. So he picks it and puts it in his pocket.
Because he's like, this is dope.
Really cool flower.
I'm gonna show my friends this cool flower because
exactly.
Yeah.
And then we're just at the park, just taking a walk, and suddenly like a lone cop car swings up, and he's like, "What are you doing?" We're like, "We're taking a walk through the park."
Why was that a thing? Like back in the day, like you're a teenager, like what do we do? We're just walking to the park, guys.
Like
there was nothing else to do.
Anything.
Yeah.
But walking through the park. And what do they decide to do but check our pockets? And they pull out the flower and they go, what is this?
It's a flower, man.
He's like, is this weed? Is this drugs? And he's like really going hard on him. And he's like, this is a really nice flower. I just picked it up off the ground. I thought it was cool. I put it in my pocket.
Oh, that's fun. Yeah, I just have flowers in my pocket. That's fine. But
also, like, who puts loose weed in their pocket? Like,
right? Yeah, no, you would have it in a baggie or like nobody's just gonna shove weed in their pocket. That's stupid. Oh my god! So did he let you guys go, or what happened?
Yeah, I mean, what was he?
He's just like, yeah, okay, I believe you. It was a flower.
How embarrassing would that be if he like actually put us in the cop car and brought us back to the station? It was like, I found this in their pocket, and they're like, a flower?
Yeah, right. Let's test it. I wonder if like he actually looked at it, inspected it, and was like, "This isn't fucking weed. These fucking kids. What the hell?" Was that the thing?
It's a weed in the literal sense.
Right. It's a literal weed. So like, what was it? Oh, when you're like, I had a friend in high school that he got caught selling weed. It was oregano. It would like he got caught selling weed, but it got tested and it was oregano.
Oh my god.
And then obviously everybody at school found out and they're like, what the fuck, man? Why are you selling oregano? And he was in trouble because he tried to sell it.
I'm like, isn't that a rule where like if you make people believe that you're selling them the drug, you can still get in trouble for it?
Yep, and he did. And then everybody at school found out it wasn't really weed, so then you were in trouble with all your friends because they're like, what are you doing? You're selling fake shit.
Yep.
Teenagers are stupid.
Teenagers are just really dumb.
We just have a rough time with that. What's up with that? Hormones are raging. Nobody knows what to do. Our hair's greasy. Fuck.
Yeah, it's just a bad time.
Yeah. And everybody's trying to impress everybody else, and it's just, what is up with that? I don't know.
I got one more.
Oh,
one more good one.
Is it about Dan?
No, and I can't remember if he was there for this or not. He'll know if he was there or not. God, I got so many, but like
that's great. Let's say if you have more about Dan, I'd love to hear those because he doesn't remember half of this shit from then, and I'm like telling him, like, don't you remember in high school and this, and this, and he's like, I don't know, I don't remember that. I was like,
well, the thing is, when we were in high school, we really didn't go to any parties, like 0 parties in high school.
Yeah.
The only thing we did was band practice and play the occasional show. We didn't drink anything.
No.
Cool.
I didn't do much shit either until like way after high school. I was like, in high school, I was pretty good. I mean, like I went to parties and stuff, but I would not partake in the drinking. I was usually DD and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, that's good though.
Yeah. Your brain's not done developing. I had to explain that to my kids. They're like, why can't we have alcohol? And I was like, because it's not good for you because your brain's not developed yet. And I like had to go into like the science behind why they shouldn't drink it. Because I'm like, if you just tell them it's because you're not old enough, what does that fucking mean to a kid?
It doesn't mean anything.
Doesn't mean anything. So I'm like, I have to give them actual real facts of why they shouldn't. Otherwise, they're going to do it anyways.
Yeah, exactly.
So we had to learn them a little. All right, let's hear.
All right. So this was I had a party at my apartment, and it was fairly low key. I think we were playing like a weird Never Have I Ever. And at the time, like a fair few of my friends were people that I had in the past dated.
Yeah.
And it
I feel
just
like
so happened.
at that time frame, like right out of, you're like half of you were, something. There's something there.
Yeah. And I'm like, I think so. It's like a follow up on a previous party. We had a previous party where there was a truth or dare, and two of the guys were dared to kiss each other, and then they did.
Hell yeah.
So at this next party, it came up. It was like, never have I ever dated Kristi, and like everyone in the room was like, yeah, drink, whatever. And then like on that trail, it was never have I ever kissed Fred.
Yes.
And then again, everyone drinks except for one person in the room, and he looks around and he's like, I feel so left out. I want to kiss Fred, and then he just does.
Oh shit. Getting
and
hot.
Fred freaks the fuck out. He was so pissed about it.
He's like, what the fuck? Consent, guys. Consent.
But it was like one of the funniest moments, and nobody was really drunk, I don't think. It was just like we'd had.
It was just out of nowhere, and just like
a totally sober reaction.
That's good. That's good. Oh my god. Never have I ever. What, truth or dare? Those were the things back in the day. And yes, everybody dated everybody. I feel like every time we did those, everybody's like, I know I'm gonna get everybody to drink. This is a good one.
You know that there's one good one that you can pop up.
Oh yeah. Always. I love that. Oh my gosh. Party stories abound. I never got to go to your apartment.
I think I only had that one for like a year.
Yeah.
I
we picked you up a couple of times, but I never went in. Because I was like,
Oh.
I was talking to Dan about it. I was like, I never went into that apartment.
That's disappointing.
I was like, yeah.
There was a point where like it got a little bit difficult, and I like stopped having people over like until I moved out, just because like there were some weird things. Like one of the guys I dated, like while he was like super drunk on my floor, points right at me and goes, "You ruined my life," and then I never saw him again. Like that was like the last time.
What?
Like he was at a party at my place, and he just like got super drunk and emotional and just was like, "You ruined my life."
It's like, oh no.
And he had to be escorted out.
Oh no, baby, you ruined your own life. Sorry.
So it got a bit weird a few times.
Yeah.
And like occasional things started just disappearing from my apartment, and it wasn't anything of consequence. Like it was stupid shit like stamps that I know exactly where they are. Like no one stole anything that I would have really missed, except that I noticed.
What?
And it was just like, I don't want this to escalate into like, what if it's just like, I wonder if she'll notice if I take this. I wonder if like, and I'll never figured out who did it. Like, as far as I know, it was almost always people that I would trust, except maybe like a handful of people. Like I have my suspicions, but like,
I wonder if it's one of those things where they're just like, I need this thing, and they're drunk and they take it and they're like, I'll pay her back for it, and then fucking forget because they're shit-faced maybe.
Like it's entirely possible it's just that too.
But you're like, I don't need that in my fucking apartment. I don't need that.
No, it got old, and my neighbor hated me.
Oh no.
So she was always really mad.
Upstairs or downstairs neighbor?
Upstairs. I was in the basement.
Oh, okay. Yeah. See, I never went inside. I was in the middle apartment when we were in our apartments on Bear Road, and that was fucking hell. Because I had shitty people above me, shitty people below me. Pretty sure the ones below me were the ones that called the cops, but who knows? Who knows? Yeah. Did you ever go into my Bear Road apartment?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I'm still dating Brandon for most of that anyway, so that makes sense. It's okay. You missed nothing. You missed absolutely.
I missed nothing.
No.
It's great.
Nothing. It's great. Well, thanks for sharing all your stories. Those were fun.
course.
Getting to know Kristi a little bit more. I think like that's the thing. Like you talk on our other show and you get to tell us all the crazy stories about other people, but we don't get to see much of you or hear about you. Now we know.
Now everyone knows.
I mean, we know what you wanted to know. That's it. And people can ask questions, but we're not going to necessarily answer them. That's.
I mean, at this point, there's very few things that I wouldn't talk about. Few I probably wouldn't talk about on the internet.
Well,
but,
yeah.
You know,
you gotta keep some private stuff private. This is
sure,
especially in this day and age. People will be using some weird shit against you, and you're like, I did not fucking say that.
And if I did, are you sure I meant it that way?
Right, you took that out of context, sir. And it's always gonna be a sir, okay? It's never gonna be a ma'am. You, my nips alone, okay?
None of your goddamn business.
Exactly. Well, thank you so much for sharing. Is there anything that you would like to plug on here? I know have you been doing more of your Twitch stuff?
It's been like, the last time I did it was on my last day off, and I feel like it's just one of those things where
you just do it
if
when you want.
I am doing anything else on the day, it's just going to be too much effort to get on the stream and do it, you know.
I feel like sometimes that's just like there's just too much effort involved with that. I don't want to do that.
I'm trying to make videos. I haven't gotten past the point of saving the games. I haven't actually uploaded them so that I can post them anywhere. One of these days, maybe.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's the thing. I think this channel especially is like, you know, we may not be 100% consistent, but we're putting shit out there and we're having fun doing it. And that's half the fun of it, right? Like if it's not fun, why are we doing it? It's not
doing what we can.
Yeah. Having fun with it. Out here on Liquid Space Discussions. All right. Is there anything else you'd like to plug?
No, I think I'm good. I mean,
all right.
Check out the Brainwreck channel. Like, come watch us every other Thursday. We talk about assholes. You know? Like,
I love our show. It's so great. You do a great job. I think the way you say the stories makes them so real. I love it. Like, I know, like, when there's, like, a sass part, you're putting that fucking sass in there. I
have to.
Yeah, you have to. Or, like, you let us, like, hang in there, and at the end, you're like, wait, there's more. There's more.
But wait, did you know that there's more?
Exactly. Also, in the comments, little baby squish coming to you.
Oh, my God. Sometimes it's wholesome.
So you know what? Like I feel like whenever you get the wholesome ones that are real good, you throw us for a fucking loop. We're always like, wait, but is there more? I feel like there's more. The shoe is about to drop. There's some fucked up shit somewhere next. Gonna read the other half of the story or something, but like sometimes I'm like, oh, that was sweet.
Sometimes it's just a nice break.
Exactly. All right. Well, for this episode, I have been Blakely K. And
I have Kristi.
Yeah. All right. Good night.